Hello, my name is Mason Price. My book is Lost in Babylon, and the series is The Seven Wonders. The conflict in my book is when Jack, Allie, Cass, and Marco have to go find this shiny orb that keeps them alive. It's called a Loculus. The Loculus is somewhere in the Euphrates River, but there's a problem. That the Loculus is somewhere hidden. So when people try to find it, they end up in a different time zone. So if it was 6 minutes, it would be a day in normal time. Jack, Allie, Cass, and Marco all dive into the river because they must find this. It is the only thing that keeps them alive. So when they go into the portal, everything changes and they go to Babylon. The truly main character in the book is actually Jack McKinley, though. In the Rising action, everyone has to go and try to find this. But when they're touring with the king's brother, a person tries to hit the king, but Marco stops him. He thinks he is a god. So he goes and tells this Marco to go and kill this filthy animal. And when they go to try to kill it, they almost kill it. But then Marco gets badly hurt on the leg. Then we find rebels, and they come and heal Marco. Then, out of nowhere, we actually see the Hanging Gardens right outside the forest. So we go and run to get there. When they go into the maze, they are filled with fear. They run and try to get to the place, but little animals spit fire at them. When they get to the center of the maze, they figure out that the Loculus has to be there. Then, when they get there, they figure out that there is an evil guy trying to kill them there. They all hide and run away. They tried to get the Loculus, but then the earth started to fall apart. In the second part of the book, Jack, Allie, Cass, and Marco try to go back and figure out how they can take everything and put it back without destroying Babylon. So they find this machine, and it says it's called Shelly, and they make it a almost exact figure that looks like it. And it takes up the energy and doesn't remove the Loculus. So when they try to move the Loculus, they go back and try to move the Loculus. They try their best. They get all the way back at the end and try their best to take it. And it takes 1 hour just for it to fill up with enough energy to take the Loculus. But when they get there, Marco betrays them. When Marco betrays them, they take the Loculus and they take the Flight Loculus. If you want to know about the Flight Loculus, you have to read the first book. When they get to the river, everyone's at the river trying to flee. When Marco and his team go and through the river, they take Allie, Cass, and Jack with them. So then they kidnap them in the real world and take them to Egypt. When they get to Egypt, that is when Allie decides to run off before even telling Jack and Cass that they were leaving. When Allie runs off, they are sure that Allie will go back and get her team. So when they get kidnapped and they are put in a room, and then they are taken inside of the pyramid. When Jack and Cass get into the pyramid, they are taken captive and are held in these rooms with Marco. Then, when Jack wakes up, he finds a phone under his pillow, and they are never allowed with phones. Jack gets the phone and turns it on. He checks through all the apps except there's one app and it has an eye on it. So when they go and try to go and find out what they're doing, they decide to sneak out and run and try to get out of the pyramid. But when they get out of the pyramid, they get in disguises and then are almost seen through a big room. They go and try to but then somebody comes by, one of the monks comes by and tries to find them. They slip into this room by using the app on the iPhone. So when they get into the room, Jack's body is going crazy because he knows the localists are near. So they switch on the light in the room and they find both localists. So then they are about to get out, but there are three guards at the door. They trick the guards into coming and trying to get to them, and then they throw stuff at them and blind them. Then they get in a hijack car and then go away as fast as they can. The problem is Jack and Cass are very, very hungry. So they decide to go and try to get some food. But when they get some food, they try to use the invisibility localists. Then they get caught and then they're running away from everybody. They get very hungry and really need to eat. Then they gotta go and try to do all they can. They end up losing the localists, which is very bad. They are running away from all the people they can, but then they get separated. Jack goes and gets kidnapped into a taxi, which is his friend who kidnaps him, who is Torkin. And then Allie is in the back of the taxi too. But then Cass is put into the taxi too, and he says he got the localists. At the end of the book, all of them get back except Marco. Marco has decided to stay with them, but Cass, Allie, and Marco all decide to zoom out of the phone. Then, when they're zooming out of the phone, they figure out that it is actually Jack's mom who actually had died, only he was 4. So he figures out that she is working for the other team. Thank you for watching this book, and I think this book was an amazing book. If you want to read this series, I suggest you read the first book. This was a great book. Thank you for watching this.